Hello and welcome to today's video. We are doing my fall TBR. I'm so excited about this. I've been collecting these books, making lists off of recommendations, books that's been on my shelf that I've been wanting to read, and fall is my favorite time to build a TBR. Of course, it's spooky, cozy, and dark. And of course, it is the best time of year to stay inside, get under a blanket, get a warm drink, and read a good book. So I'm very excited to share these with y'all. I've got some physical books here in front of me I'm going to share with you. I also have some non-physical books that I haven't decided yet if I'm going to purchase or just listen to. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. And then I got a couple little books that I'm going to try to sprinkle in because they are just Halloween classics. First, not book related, if you're a returning viewer and you're like, Allison, what the heck is going on with your hair? 2 videos ago, you put blonde in the front and now it's dark again. I know. I was trying to do my roots. I do my hair myself at home because I'm a cosmetologist. I was trying to do my roots and it was bleeding so bad into the blonde. People who have like two-toned hair like that, that's like a perfect part. It is impressive that they can keep it parted correctly while they're doing it. They may have people do it in a salon and don't do it themselves. Maybe that's harder, but there was no way I was getting it done. It was bleeding into the blonde and it was damaged, so there's no way I could have bleached back over it. So here we are. I have dark hair again. I also had to trim it because, like I said, it was damaged. So we've got a little bit of a bang now going on, some face framing. But I just wanted to explain that really quick. I know I don't have to explain myself, but I knew I would get a few questions down in the comments about it. So I thought I'd go ahead and address it. Either way, we're going to move on. This video is not about hair. It's about books. So let's get started with my fall TBR. So first on the list, we've got Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I'm going to try my best to pronounce these names correctly. Just excuse me if I butcher them, but we've got Ninth House and Hell Bent. I believe this series is not done yet. I don't think it's a duology. I think there is a third one coming out. It is a dark academia. This was actually a gift from one of my clients. He highly recommended these books to me. These are actually his copies that he gifted to me because he's read them multiple times and he knew my style of reading, so he thought these would be perfect for me, and I decided to wait and read them now. These will probably be my next read, to be honest with you, because I feel like a dark academia will be perfect for September moving into October. So Ninth House, it says on the back of it, the mesmerizing adult debut from Leigh Bardugo, a tale of power, privilege, dark magic, murder among the Ivy League elites. So the setting is at Yale and it is a dark academia, like I said, but there is a magic system. I go into a lot of my books not knowing a lot about them. I really like to go in blind because, number one, I don't like it to be ruined for me. I don't like to read too many reviews because I like to form my own opinion on books. So I don't know a lot about this, but I'm pretty excited about it. And then, of course, you've got Hellbent, which is the second book. And I'm not going to read the back of this one because a lot of times with the second book of a series, there's some spoilers that even when you read the synopsis in the back, and I don't want to do that. But I'm assuming it's just a continuation of the Ninth House. So next we've got Immortal Dark by Tegas Gurma. And this is a vampire dark romance, I believe. The top says a lost heiress, a soulless vampire, and a secret drenched in blood. I have seen very mixed reviews on this one. Some people either love it or hate it. Well, not necessarily hate. I haven't seen anybody say they hated it, but it just wasn't their favorite. Luckily, a lot of the people that I follow that have similar taste in books as me did really enjoy this, so I'm going to give it a shot. Honestly, I just love the cover of it. If the book represents any of the vibes on the inside of it, I should enjoy it. It says entirely irresistible. You won't want to look away. That's just what the review on the front says. And then I'm assuming there's going to be a second one on this, Eternal Ruin. Maybe that's already out, but we're going to obviously start with this one. So I'm excited to read this. I love a good vampire dark romance. So this one is actually going to be a reread for me. This is Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulik, and I read this actually last October. I don't really know what happened. I don't know if it was just one of those right book, wrong time situations. I do remember I just couldn't pay attention. I think I had a lot going on outside of reading this book, and I would pick it up and really just, my mind would wander elsewhere when I was trying to read it. But I do remember really enjoying it, and thankfully I don't really remember the ending. Potentially I didn't even finish it. I'm almost positive I did, but either way, we're going to do a reread of this. So this is a horror. It says a one-of-a-kind thriller. I loved it. That's a review from Stephen King on the front of it. He's my absolute favorite. And then on the back, a little review says, one of the best and most inventive ghost stories I've read in years. So I do remember a little bit of information about this one. It is about a girl who becomes the babysitter of this young boy. She moves onto the property and stays in the guest house behind their house, and there's something weird going on with the place, like the place she stays. There's weird stuff going on, but the kid is specifically a little bit off. He starts drawing pictures, and in the beginning they're very like childlike, as you can see there. I do recommend reading the physical book because there are illustrations in it, but as time passes, the pictures start to get better and better, and they're very dark and morbid and pretty scary, honestly. They're really, really good. So anyways, so she's trying to figure out what's going on with the kid and what happened on the property. So I'm excited to reread this because honestly, I don't remember the ending. I think I just was zoning out last year. So we're going to reread that one. And then 2 more physical books that are shorter. I'm going to try to squeeze in probably in October. I purchased these copies at Books A Million, Frankenstein and Dracula. So I want to read these. I've never read the actual books, and I love the stories. And actually, there is a Frankenstein movie coming out, I believe, in November. But I'm very excited about that. So I definitely want to read this before the movie comes out. And it's not long at all. It's only like 190 pages, and it's a small book. But then also, I've never read Dracula. I've seen plenty of movies, but not the actual book by Bram Stoker. So I'm going to try to squeeze these in October as well. And then last, I've got 2 books that I don't have the physical copies of, but I definitely want to try and read. The first one is Slewfoot, which is a tale of bewitchery. This is a dark fantasy novel. It is set in 1666 in colonial Connecticut. The story follows Abatha, a young woman who, after her husband's death, finds herself vulnerable in a strict Puritan village and turns to an ancient awakening forest spirit for help. So we've got witches, we've got forest spirits. It says the novel blends elements of folk horror, historical fantasy, and witchcraft, featuring Brahms, which I'm assuming is the author, signature haunting illustrations, and exploring themes of religious intolerance, female rage, and conflict between pagan and Puritan beliefs. That sounds like exactly what I want to read this fall. I have seen a couple different reviews on this and people saying that they loved it, so I'm pretty excited about this. Yeah, it's by Gerald Brom or Broom. And then last, we've got Dowry of Blood. So this says it is a gothic horror novel by S.T. Gibson that reimagines the story of Dracula from the perspective of his first bride, Constanza. The book explores desire and obsession as Constanza navigates a toxic relationship with a manipulative Count Dracula. That looks really good. I actually did not know that it was about like a reimagination of Dracula. This was just a recommendation I saw by somebody I follow that said it was a good fall read. I'm excited about it, especially now that it reimagines the story of Dracula from his first bride's perspective. I think that's actually really cool. So that is another read for my fall TBR. And then 2 books I want to throw in here that I want to reread, but I think I'm going to listen to them, is One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gilling. And I just finished The Night and the Moth. Absolutely incredible. It was a 5-star read for me. I won't go into the review because this is about the fall TBR, but after reading The Night and the Moth, I really want to reread those 2 books. I read them last year, but I want to listen to them a second time around. So if I've got time for an audiobook that's outside of these, I'm definitely going to be rereading those. because they're dark and gothic, and The Night and the Moth was so good. It just got me craving more of her style writing. So I plan on listening to those through an audiobook. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments if you are planning to read any of these, or what is your top book on your fall TBR. Please no spoilers though, because a lot of us haven't read these books and I don't want to give anything away, but I do want to talk about what you're planning on reading. And I'll definitely be posting a review on all of these in a separate video, probably toward the end of fall, just a recap of what I ended up reading, if I didn't get to read any of them, and just some highlights that I took from each book. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of those videos, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!